Sometimes in life, we feel like everything is being delayed, like our prayers are hanging in the air without any response. We question ourselves, we question life, and sometimes in silence we even question God. But what we fail to understand is that when God delays something, it is never to deny us, it's to prepare us. Preparation is God's hidden language of love. He sees the storm ahead, He sees the weight of the blessing, and He knows that if He gives it to us too early, it may break us instead of blessing us. So He takes time to shape our character before handing us our miracle. Think of a seed planted deep in the soil. For a long time, there is no sign of life. The soil looks quiet. Nothing appears on the surface, and it seems like nothing is working. But underground, roots are forming. Strength is being built where no one can see it. That's exactly how God works in our lives. When our miracles seem delayed, He's actually forming deep roots inside us, faith roots, patience roots, strength roots, so that when our blessing finally breaks through the surface, it stands strong and never gets uprooted by trials. Many times we are ready for the blessing, but our heart is not ready for the responsibility that comes with it. God does not want us to receive something great and then lose it because we were not emotionally or spiritually prepared. Just like a loving father does not hand his child a heavy gift until he knows the child can carry it, God withholds certain blessings not to punish us, but to protect us. He waits for the moment when we are mature enough to handle what we prayed for. Delays are divine tests. They reveal who we truly are when nothing seems to be moving. Will we complain, or will we trust? Will we panic, or will we believe? God listens more to our attitude during waiting than to our words during praying, because faith is not only proven in answered prayers, but in how we act when heaven is silent. Maybe right now, your life feels paused. You feel stuck while others move ahead. But what if I told you that God sometimes puts His most chosen ones in hidden seasons? Not to forget them, but to build them privately before blessing them publicly. When God is preparing a miracle, He prepares you first. He stretches your patience. He builds your endurance. And He opens your eyes to see through faith rather than sight. Every delay you face is shaping the version of you that will walk confidently into the blessing without fear, without doubt, and without losing it again. So if things are taking longer than expected, do not be discouraged. Your delay is not a dead end, it is divine preparation. When God is about to bless you, life often enters a phase where nothing feels comfortable anymore. The places where you once felt safe start feeling tight. Conversations that once entertained you begin to feel empty, and the people you used to surround yourself with suddenly don't match your energy. It's like your soul starts whispering, "This is not where you belong anymore." That discomfort is not just a feeling, it is a divine signal. God begins to shift things, not to confuse you, but to push you out of your comfort zone, because miracles never happen where comfort controls you. Growth and miracles are always born in moments of discomfort. Imagine a bird sitting in a nest. The nest is warm, soft, and safe. But when it's time to fly, something happens. The mother bird begins to remove the soft feathers and leaves only the rough sticks. Suddenly, what was once comfortable becomes painful. The bird is forced to stand on sharp edges. Why? Not because the mother bird stopped loving it, but because she knew, if the nest remains comfortable, the bird will never try to fly. Life does the same thing to us. God removes certain comforts, so we don't settle in places we were only meant to pass through. You might start feeling restless without knowing why. Old routines feel heavy, and your heart starts longing for something more, even if you can't explain it. That inner stirring is heaven telling you that your current chapter is ending. Discomfort is often the final stage before breakthrough. It is God's way of gently moving you from where you are to where you are destined to be. He knows that if He doesn't disturb your comfort, you will stay stuck in an environment that cannot support the blessing He is preparing for you. Sometimes you will feel sudden pressure, financial pressures, emotional pressures, even unexpected challenges. These pressures are not punishments, they are divine adjustments. Diamonds are formed under pressure, not in comfort. God uses pressure to activate hidden strength inside you that even you didn't know existed. You begin to pray deeper, think clearer, and rely on Him more than ever. That is not a setback. That is preparation. The truth is, if you only move when everything is easy, you will never step into greatness. So God allows a holy discomfort to rise within you. He starts disconnecting your heart from average things so you can be ready for extraordinary things. You may wonder why your spirit no longer fits in the same old spaces. It is because God is expanding your territory. He is stretching your capacity so that when the blessing arrives, you will have room to receive it fully. There comes a moment in life when your heart begins to change even before your circumstances do. You start feeling a gentle pull inside, a quiet voice calling you to disconnect from noise and draw closer to peace. That peace is not from the world, it is from God. When a miracle is near, God does not just prepare the blessing, He prepares your spirit to receive it. You may find yourself losing interest in meaningless conversations, arguments, and distractions. Suddenly, drama feels exhausting, negativity feels heavy, and your soul begins to crave stillness. That is a divine sign. It means your spirit is waking up to something greater, something beyond just surviving. It's an internal shift where you no longer want to fight every battle. You just want alignment with God. You may begin to notice that your prayers change too. Instead of asking for material things alone, you start asking for guidance, clarity, strength, and closeness to God. This is not by accident. When a blessing is coming, God aligns your prayer life so your heart matches what He has written for you. You begin to feel that prayer is no longer a duty but a lifeline, a breath your soul needs. In that silence, in those quiet conversations with God, He begins to download peace into your heart. The same problems that used to shake you begin to lose their power over you. You think to yourself, I don't know how, but I feel calm. That calmness is a divine signal. It's God whispering that something is shifting in the unseen. When God pulls you closer, you will feel a gentle conviction inside you. Things that never bothered you before start to matter now. You become more conscious of your actions, your words, your intentions. This is spiritual refinement. God does not want to give a powerful blessing to a distracted heart. So He begins to purify your intentions, so you receive your miracle with humility, gratitude, and wisdom. Some people might not understand this change in you. They may say you're different, distant, or too quiet. But what they don't know is that silence is where God prepares greatness. The closer you get to Him, the clearer your purpose becomes. You also start feeling a strange inner strength. Even when life challenges you, something inside tells you not to give up. You might not see the blessing yet, but deep down you sense something is coming. That sense is faith awakening in you. Faith makes you stand firm even when nothing around you has changed. It is the spiritual signal that heaven is working behind the scenes. Sometimes, when God is preparing to bless you, one of the most painful yet powerful signs appears. People start to leave your life. Friendships that once felt unbreakable begin to fade. Certain relationships grow distant, and people you thought were permanent suddenly become temporary. In that moment, it may feel like rejection, but in reality, it is divine protection. God hears conversations you never heard. He sees intentions you never saw. And because He loves you too deeply to let the wrong people walk into the future He prepared for you, He gently removes them, even if you don't understand it right away. There are blessings that require separation. Some people are only meant to be part of your story, not your destiny. They were there to help you grow, teach you a lesson, or guide you to a certain point, but they cannot walk with you into the next chapter. If they do, they might drain your energy, weaken your faith, or distract you from your calling. So when God disconnects you from certain people, it's not loss, it is alignment. It's God saying, I am making room for what is coming. You might notice that certain conversations start feeling heavy, certain atmospheres feel mentally exhausting, and your heart slowly detaches without reason. That is spiritual disconnection. God begins to disconnect your spirit before He disconnects your physical presence. You may feel lonely in this season, but that loneliness is not emptiness. It is preparation. God often empties your circle before He fills your life with the right people who are aligned with your purpose. Sometimes you won't have a fight, no arguments, no big breakup moment, just quiet distance. That's because God removes people peacefully when you are obedient. He knows you won't understand it fully, so He lets the connection fade slowly so your heart can adjust without breaking. During this time, instead of asking, why are they leaving me? Ask God, what are you making space for? Because every exit is making room for a divine entrance. What you call abandonment, heaven calls graduation. You are simply outgrowing conversations, energies, and environments that no longer support your next level. Not everyone is meant to understand your calling. Some people are attached to your past, but disconnected from your future. And God will not allow what is meant to break you to walk into your blessing with you. There are moments in life when doors you depended on suddenly close without warning. Opportunities you thought were yours slip away. Plans you were confident about begin to fall apart, and what once felt secure starts crumbling. At first, it feels painful. You might even wonder, why would God let this happen when I was so close? But what if those closed doors are not a punishment, but a redirection? What if the rejection you are facing is actually God's way of protecting you from something you cannot see? God sees the full picture. He knows which doors lead to destiny and which ones lead to disappointment disguised as opportunity. So when He shuts a door, it is never because He wants you to suffer. It's because He knows that your blessing is not behind that door. Sometimes our hearts get attached to things that look good, but are not good for our future. In His wisdom, God allows certain things to end so something greater can begin. Think of it like this: if you were holding a small gift tightly in your hands, but God wanted to give you something bigger, you would have to let go first. But letting go feels scary, so instead of waiting for you to release it willingly, God closes your grip by shutting doors. It might feel like loss, but in truth, it's preparation for gain. Many times, what you perceive as a setback is simply a shift. God is not saying no, He is saying, not this, because I have something better. Closed doors also test your faith. Anyone can trust God when everything is going according to plan, but faith is measured when plans fail. In that moment, do you complain, or do you trust that God is smarter than your expectations? Remember, a door closing is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter you didn't see coming. One divine no can lead you to a bigger yes you never imagined. You will notice that sometimes rejection happens without explanation. People say no, opportunities slip away, or things that were once easy suddenly become difficult. That is not coincidence, it is orchestration. God is gently pulling you away from what is not meant for you. He won't allow you to settle in a lesser place when He has designed a higher place for you.